Alright, hey guys, so I want to show you guys my account so far after playing Genshin Impact for around 6 months. It's actually been a little bit past the 6-month marker, but I've been playing since the first week Genshin Impact launched. I do have 36 stars on Spiral Abyss, so it's safe to say that I can beat anything in the game, no problem. Anyways, here are the characters that I got from playing during that time period. As you can see, I'm not much of a spender on the game. In total, I've bought one battle pass and bought the $100 top up once. You can see that I have 5-star characters and I have 2 5-star weapons that you see on my characters when I show them. You can also see that I've never gotten a raise on this count, which is crazy. But I'll be showing what my characters are using and what they have on right now. So first off, we're going to start off with my Venti. He currently has 1,300 attack. And here are the rest of his stats. And for his weapon, he's using an R5 Windbloom Ode at level 80. For his artifacts, we're running a 4-piece Viridescent set. And if you want to take a look at the substats, here they are. As you can see, I haven't really built Venti all that much. And he's really not on my priority list for doing artifacts, so it's just gonna stay like this for a while. And obviously, no constellations, because I'm broke. And for the talents, it's 288. Don't do any normal attacks on Venti, so it's fine like this. Next, we're going to take a look at my Ganyu. My favorite character right now, to be honest. She's really fun to play. I love her. She looks amazing. Yeah, I'm horny. So for the stats, we have 2,200 attack, 26% crit rate, 200% crit damage, 136% energy recharge, and 61% cryo damage. So for the weapon, we're running an ammo spell at R1. Yes, this is one of my 5-star weapons that I have. But for the artifacts, we're running a 4-piece Blizzard Striker. And as you can see, I don't have a 5-star crit damage headpiece. And yeah, I've been farming this for a while and I still haven't got one. That's why my substats are pretty good, as you can see. But still haven't got a 5-star crit damage headpiece. And again, obviously, no constellations at all. And for my talents, we have a 966 talents. Obviously, because, got a charge attack. Now let's move on to my Keqing. She currently has 1,800 attack, 50% crit rate, and 220% crit damage if you round the number, and 134% energy recharge. She's currently a physical damage Keqing, so she has 83% physical damage bonus. For her weapon, we're rocking a black sword, the battle pass weapon. And for the artifacts, we're running a 2-piece gladiator and a 2-piece bloodstained chivalry. And here's a closer look at the substats if you want to look at those. And again, obviously no constellations because I am broke. And lastly, for the talents, we're running an 866 on my Keqing, though this should change pretty soon. Now we're moving on to my first 5-star I ever pulled, Mona. For her stats, she currently has 1,700 attack, 62% crit rate, 165% crit damage, and 150% energy recharge. Lastly, she has 61% hydro damage. And for her weapon, we're running a Witch Cyst. And since I run Mona as a sub DPS, I have her running a 4-piece Heart of Death. And as always, here are the substats if you want to look at them. And once again, no constellations. And lastly, for Mona, her talents are 669. Because her ultimate does a lot of damage. And the first 4-star we're going to look at is my Ningguang, my first ever DPS on this account. So for his stats, we have 1,800 attack, 48% crit rate, 145% crit damage, and 112% energy recharge. Then we have 85% geo damage bonus. So we're running a Black Cliff Agate as her weapon. She used to have the Witch Cyst, but I changed that to Mona, So for the artifacts, we're running a 2-piece Gladiators and a 2-piece Archaic Petra. I stopped farming her artifacts way back like a few months ago. And now these are just her artifacts that I kept on her the whole entire time. So for Ningguang's constellations, I have her at C2. Not bad. And for her talents, we have 866. I think you guys might be seeing a pattern with these talents, And now we're going to move on to the good old Fischl. My Fischl is kind of doggy doo-doo, sitting at 2,100 attack, 40% crit rate, and 67% crit damage. And of course, she has 61% electro damage. And it gets even worse. We're running at level 80 Rust that I just put on her because I don't have anything better. And for artifacts, we're running a 4-piece Thundering Fury set, and with not that great substats as you'll see here. And she's currently at Constellation 4, which is pretty nice. And currently her talents are at 696, and because of the constellations, she's at level 9. And now we're gonna look at the first 6-star that we have, Bennett. And currently his stats have 1400 attack, 36% crit rate, which you'll see why it's pretty low, and 100% crit damage with 227% energy recharge. And the reason we have low crit rate is because of the Festering Desire, which is not much of a compensation, but it does what it does. And for him, we're running a kind of DPS kind of Bennett with 4-piece Crimson Witch, which I might change to 4-piece Noblesse sometime soon, but we'll see about it. And we've been unlucky with constellations for Bennett, setting it at C0. And lastly, for the talents, we have a 169 Bennett, which I might crown soon. Now we're gonna look at, I think was my first 4-star, if I'm not wrong, unless it was Fischl. It was either Fischl or Beidou, but you know, we're gonna be looking at her now. So for her stats, we have 1800 attack, 46% crit rate, which is, I like that to be a little bit higher, 100% crit damage, same thing again, and 158% energy recharge. And for her weapon, we have my second 5-star weapon, the Skyward Pride. For her artifacts, we're running a 2-piece Gladiator, 2-piece Thundering Fury. And for her constellation, we recently got her to C1, which is pretty nice. Doesn't really do much, but hey. And as for her talent, she's only rocking at 366, which I might level up her talents pretty soon since I have extra Divalin size. Next up, we have Xingqi. Currently, he only has 1100 attack, 45% crit rate, 129% crit damage, 166% energy recharge, and 81% hydro damage. For his weapon, he's running a level 70 R4 Sacrificial Sword, which I should level up to 90 soon. And he's running a 2-piece Heart Depth, 2-piece Noblesse for his artifacts, and here are his substats. For his constellations, he's currently at Constellation 3, which is really nice to have. Wish I could have my Constellation 4, but you take what you get. And lastly, for his talents, he's only rocking at 169, and I will level up his talents whenever I can because this is his max talents he can get for now, since I haven't ascended him just yet. Now we're gonna look at my Xingling, which is not built at all, as you can tell, while sitting only at 400 attack. So we're just gonna skim right through her because her stats don't really matter all too much. And as you can see, I have her R2 level 40 out of 50 Crescent Pike. And her artifacts don't even matter too much, she only has 2 artifacts on her after all. So for her constellations though, we do have her at C6, which this is the reason I might build her in the future because, as you can see, I've gotten a lot of Xinglings. And lastly, for her talent, she's rocking a 279 because of the constellations. Next up, we have my level 60 out of 70 Diona, which is fully support, as you can see, almost no attack. And the crit damage, crit rate doesn't really matter as she just supports. So, energy recharge 185%, and cryo damage at a cool 12%. For Diona's weapon, we have the Sacrificial Sword at R4, but only level 40. And for the artifacts, we're rocking a 4-piece Noblesse. And as you'll see, the artifacts are fully support, all HP percentage and energy recharge. For her constellations, we also have her at C0, so what can you do? As for her talents, we will have her at 166, as we don't use her normal attacks, so the normal attacks do not matter at all. Next up, we basically have our last built character here, Noelle. She currently has 1000 attack, 1400 defense, 47% crit rate, 70% crit damage, and 184% energy recharge. For her weapon, she's currently using the White Blind at level 70 R1. And as for her artifact, she's currently using the 4-piece Retracing Bow Light set, which is okay. I think Gladiator's Finale would be better, but in this case, I have 4-piece Retracing Bow Light. For Noelle's constellations, we do have her at C6, that's why I do have her a little bit built out. For her talents, we have her at a cool 6, 7, 9. Okay, now that we move on to the main traveler, we're gonna speed up a little bit because these characters are not built out and you guys don't need to look at them. Here's a quick look of main traveler's stats. And then here is the weapon, a PS4 exclusive because this account is on PS4. Do hope that it can transfer to PC sooner or later. For the artifacts, it has a random 2-piece Berserker and 2-piece Gladiators, and obviously max constellations on the Traveler as you get them for free, and I've spent no resources in the talents at all. Next up we have Barbara, using the starter weapon. Her artifacts doesn't really matter, as you can see, so we're just going to skip over them. And yes, I do have a C6 Barber, which is not so good. Unfortunate. And finally, her talents are at 155. And here is my Xinyan using a level 80 R3 Sacrificial Greatsword. And again, we're going to skip over the artifacts because they're just random ones. Moving on to the constellations, we have her at C0. And also, the talents are also not invested in because who cares? Next up, we have Sucrose at level 20 out of 40. And for Sucrose's weapon, she's running a level 20 R5 Thrilling Tales, which is just temporary. And artifacts, as always, doesn't really matter because it's just nothing. And we do have a C3 Sucrose, because I got a little bit lucky, not gonna lie. And for talents again, not invested, so they're all level 1. And next up we have Chongyun at level 20. He also does not have a weapon on because I took it off of him for whatever reason. And he also just has some artifacts on just so he don't die when I'm using him in Spiral Abyss. And for constellations, I don't have any constellations on Chongyun. As most characters, I don't have them either. And once again, the talents are at 111. No investment. And we're going to quickly go through Amber, which has no weapons, garbage artifacts, no constellations, and no talents at all. And you guys don't need to see that because I'm too lazy. For Kaeya though, we're going to go quickly through him with him being at level 3, having the Harbinger of the Dawn, with basically no artifacts, 3 constellations, and obviously no investment in the talents. And to quickly go through once again, Lisa at level 1, with not a good weapon. No artifacts, basically 1 constellation, and again, no talents investment. And the last character that we have here is Jean at level 1 with the flute on, and that is it. Everything is at level 1, no artifacts, no constellations, no talents. And that is it for the video. If you would like me to go into a character individually and more in depth, then feel free to let me know which character you want me to make a guide for, I guess you would say. And please be somebody that I have actually built out. There are some exceptions because I have built some characters out on my second account that I can't showcase on my main account, and vice versa because that is how I did it. And I would prefer it to be on my other account because that account is on PC, and then so I can make it easier on you guys and myself so the quality is better, it's easy to make, and all the such things. Other than that, please like and subscribe because why not?